Prom is the classic American coming-of-age experience, but for teens in the 21st century, social media imposes a new challenge by creating the assumption that teens must look and act a certain way on prom night. This assumption causes pressure to conform to social norms through heightened drug use and the expectation to lose your virginity on prom night.
The second you step foot on campus your freshman year, you want to just be a part of all the high school things, being able to drive, being able to go off campus for lunch, being able to go to prom. You start thinking about it your freshman year, and it's basically the topic of your class council throughout all 3 years. There's a lot of pressure around prom and looking your best and getting the best dress and getting a dress that's unique. There's a prom Instagram account where you send in a photo of your dress. You can see what other people are wearing so you don't wear the same thing as them.
If you look on that account, the majority of the dresses are really similar, and that just shows that there is some pressure to dress the same.
I actually bought my dress pretty early, I would say like over ski week, which was multiple months ago. A lot of girls got theirs months before me, which is like kind of ridiculous just because it was like 7 months ago.
Prom encapsulates classic American vanity with expensive dresses, jewelry, limos, and an assumption that one night defines the rest of your life. This vanity culminates in the desire to achieve an appearance of perfection, leading families on the West Coast to spend an average of $1,000 on prom night.
I've spent a lot of money on prom just because I've got my nails done, I got a dress, I got new shoes. Prom tickets are expensive. Then you have to think about paying for the bus, paying for a boutonniere, just all of that. And then a lot of girls even get their makeup and hair done, which is another $100.
I was worried about not getting my makeup done, I'm not going to, but I think there's definitely a pressure to look as best you can.
Picking the right dress and everything, and is your date gonna match height-wise, all this stuff, and people stress about these kind of stupid things just because they want the perfect pictures.
People choose their dates based on who they think is gonna look good in pictures. I'd rather go with the pretty girl that I'm not as close with than this girl that I'm friends with.
For months, people have been seeing people posting photos with their dates, posting photos of them in their dresses and in their suits and everything. That it kind of creates more anticipation towards the event because everyone's like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do my photos for prom? What am I gonna post? So I feel like social media definitely plays a big part in that.
I definitely think social media has made prom the epitome of high school and somewhat like that because it is really a vanity project and all of it is look at me. So you do that the entire night of prom and then the next day you relive all of it and post it on Instagram for everyone to see again.
Today's teens face a pressure to have the perfect prom, and the introduction of social media enforces the expectation of a night filled with alcohol, drugs, and sex. Prom is a simulation of adulthood that comes with serious side effects. Nearly 75% of teens felt pressured to use alcohol on prom night, while another 49% said their friends encouraged them to try drugs during prom.
I am excited for prom just because it's something that I've been talking about since I was little, and I've watched movies about it.
I definitely heard about prom for the first time from some movie or TV show, and when I was little, I totally fantasized about the idea of prom and what it would be like.
I think media does present the idea that you lose your virginity on prom night.
Because you're expected to go have sex if you're not ready or do Molly if you're not ready. I think it's expected and social media definitely portrays that. But because it's prom night and everyone wants to have a good time together, it's accepted and it's normal.
I know that there have been some examples where guys specifically have been I'm going with a girl because I know she will have sex with me at the end of the night, or I expect her to have sex with me at the end of the night, which prom definitely perpetuates that.
I would say prom is associated with the loss of innocence just because you're dressing as kind of adult-like. There's a drinking involved at the after parties. There's drugs, and then the whole idea of losing your virginity. So it is this step towards rebellion.
It's also a rite of passage for high school, another event that pushes you towards growing up. For a long time, I did not want to go to prom, and only about 2 weeks ago is when I was okay, I'll go, and I bought my ticket, and everything else that I need. I changed my mind really just because like I viewed it more as a rite of passage. I didn't want to miss out on anything, and I thought it was just like, okay, this is part of high school.
Prom is so close to the end of the year. It kind of symbolizes the last like huge event that you'll have with your peers and interacting with each other and like getting to know each other better for the last time. So it is kind of a goodbye, I guess.
I think the real focus of prom should just be a send-off for the seniors, and it should just be a fun time with friends instead of focusing on like what material items you could get or how much you can dress yourself up or what photos you take on that night and what you post and show or what drugs you can do or any of that.
It seems that social media has made today's teens more focused on the photos and the allure of prom than the event itself. It's time for it to return to what it was intended to be, a night to celebrate coming of age and bid high school and the friends you spent it with farewell.